Now, first of all, let's address the obvious, and that is, where was the My Team content? Well, I was away during the weekend, and also it coincided with Jeddah releasing on the F1 game, so the content schedule kind of meant that there wasn't really a slot for My Team over the last few days, but we're back, and today we're here for another episode at the Mexican Grand Prix. As you can see in the background, in case you have forgotten, I'm going to refresh everybody's memory. We have a regulation change on the way for season number 5. If you haven't seen the previous episode, I'll leave that one linked up in the top right. But yeah, worth noting and worth remembering this as we get back onto the schedule. So, with that said, we're going to jump into the action. And this weekend, we have to first of all renew our sponsorship with Lupo Industries. So we will go ahead and agree to it, as I have no issues with any particular sponsor, as we have so much cash flow right now, it's insane. To go with that, we also went ahead and paired up a bunch of activities to our free time, free schedule, made sure we pretty much filled up most of the chart. Now, before we jump into the action here, we do get hit with a marketing department event. We're going to jump into it and see exactly what it says. So, it is to do with charity, and we have the option of doing a bit of charity work, but it does mean that Schwartzman's focus is going to drop. So I'm not willing to have that happen, to be honest with you, unfortunately, because the focus is the key stat in this year's game, and it's already dropping, quite badly on Schwartzman's end, hence why the performances of his have been quite poor lately. So I had to just basically turn that one down. Now, before we jump into qualifying, I want to show you guys the affected departments by this regulation change, and it's all three performance areas of the car. And of course, we have maxed out cars now, so even though we've saved up a load of R&D points, there's a lot of upgrades to protect. So we'll address this either at the end of this episode or at the start of the next one, but for now, we're going to jump into qualifying. Round 13, the Mexican Grand Prix, 3 races to go after this: Brazil, Australia, and Abu Dhabi, if I remember correctly. So yeah, 16 race season, and then we get hit with a brand new season 5 with a regulation change. Now in qualifying, I took a chance this weekend. I'm going to try and go with the old engine and see if we can get one more race out of it, because at the minute we've been hit with the awkward situation where I'm still taking the pain from losing an energy store back in Imola in round 2, and I'm trying to manage engine parts, and I'm trying to decide what is the best race for me to take a penalty. Now this one, it's a good option, it's a good race, but at the same time it's a good opportunity for me to win and extend my championship lead. So it's a bit of a 50-50 one, to be honest with you. And in Q1, we got through comfortably in P10. Schwartzman in the top 5. And we are running 100% AI for this one. So a bit higher than the previous races. I think 95 or 96 is usually what I run in qualifying. And then for the race, we're going to run 104. So yeah, with that said, we got through Q1 comfortably. Then to Q2, we put the mediums on. And the grip wasn't great. As you have a big moment there out of turn 3, we just about hold on to the car. We tried again, a second lap in a row on these tyres as we go through the first couple of corners. This time though, we actually cut the third apex, and this time go for the spin. So we gave up, mediums in the bin. We're going to go back to the pits and get a set of soft tyres on and go out again, because these tyres are just not competitive. So onto the soft tyres and onto our final run in Q2, and we have to make this lap count. And to be fair, I had a really ugly middle sector here. I am just, counter steering like crazy as we tried to hold on to the car throughout the entirety of the middle sector. And we're only 3/10 up on Ocon through sector 2. Having said that, the grid and the pack is very close, so 3/10 is quite a lot at the same time. Making our way into sector 3 through the stadium, final corner, and then make sure the exit is good as we run up to the line, keeping a relatively tight line here to make up for that terrible second sector. And we do an 11.2, which is a PB somehow, which I cannot believe. We go P5, and that lap is going to be enough to move us into Q3 somehow, even with that horrific second sector. Schwartzman though, out yet again in P12 in Q2. You can see the gaps, the grid is very close around here. So yeah, we're into Q3. And for this one, the first run, again, I got caught out by the first 3 corners, and this time it's going to be just a good old-fashioned cut over the third apex, and first lap invalid. Luckily, I've got just about enough fuel, so we are going to squeeze a second push lap on these tyres on. And to be fair, the lap itself wasn't very spectacular, as you have a big moment, high-speed moment, exit of sector 2. Currently neck and neck with Leclerc, but we mess up terribly into the stadium. We lock up and run a bit wide, and we're going to have to try and fire back to recover that lost time, but it just hasn't been a good lap. It's been pretty scruffy, and making our way out the final corner, keeping a tight line again, and across the line it's only an 11.4, which is 2/10 slower than our Q2 lap, and we only go P9. And unfortunately, after that lap, it turns out we got a floor damage, and if you look at the time remaining, we are not going to make it for another run. So unfortunately, it's going to be game over and qualifying over for us, and we finish in 9th place. And this is where I had a bit of a dilemma, because do we commit to the race starting on soft tyres, knowing that we have an aging engine, or do we take the hit? And I've decided I'm going to go take the hit. So we are going to go ahead and take an engine penalty for this race and the final 3 after this. We'll start from the back of the grid on the soft tyres that we use in Q2, but it does mean we have no more engine troubles ahead of us.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he starts from pole position, edging out Sergio Perez, who lines up P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Leclerc, Pierre Gasly and Sainz, Bottas, Ricciardo, Russell and Robert Schwartzman, Eilert, Ocon, Antonio Giovinazzi and Vettel, Latifi, Mick Schumacher, Nobuharu Matsushita and Yuki Tsunoda, Lundgaard, Stroll, Mazepin and Martinez. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today?
Now we have a big task on our hands. We're starting P22 and last for this race. I've made the call. We're going to take the penalty, and hopefully it pays off, because we had to take one at some point. So we're going to see how it works out for us. Fingers crossed the car is competitive enough, and we're going to have a decent race here today. So strategy for this one is going to be the predetermined default one. We have to start on the softs because we qualified on those tyres in Q2. But then again, it's not all bad news. We're going to try and look at it in a positive way, and this is going to be a tyre that's going to allow us to be really aggressive and push really hard in the first stint. So that could be a positive for us. Mediums, middle stint, and then softs at the end. We might invert them, depending on the position and the situation in the race at the time. The one thing we do know is that we're running a minimum fuel, which is 5.2 laps less in today's race. No rain forecast, bit of overcast later on, but no rain at any point. So it should be a fairly straightforward race from that perspective. So a 2-stopper, maybe even a 1, you never know. But the crucial thing here is that we need to fight back. So aggression is going to be the name of the game. Well, here we go. Let's send it. Let's see what happens. 5 lights at Mexico. We're underway. Good start. Very decent start. Mazepin, though, flew off the line. We lose a bit of slipstream, so Stroll gets back ahead. It does seem like already we're a bit down on straight line speed. After turn 1, we'll try and get Stroll and Mazepin as well here as we just put our car on the inside. Not a lot of space, but we'll make it work around the outside. Sebastian Vettel going backwards as well as Aston Martin have a bit of a shocker. 3 places gained on the run down to turn 4. Up the inside of Lundgaard here. And then that gives us the outside to challenge Matsushita. Oh, that's close. Almost got wing damage there. As Matsushita keeps trying to challenge, but we're going to go on the outside. And there we go, just like that. P17 already. Good start. Clean start, aggressive, but cautious at the same time. We know how the AI are going to behave, so important that we don't overcommit. As we say that, we get a warning for track limits. Already pushing hard, and you can see that backfired on us straight away. Don't want to get too many of those this race if we can avoid it. We'll have a little look around the outside of Latifi here at the hairpin. There we go, another one down, up to P16. And just like that, 6 places gained on the opening lap as we have a bit of oversteer. Right, let's push on. Going to be more slow cars. The first 3 laps of this race are crucial. Before we get DRS on the start of the next lap, we need to be as far ahead as possible before we enter the DRS train. So, more cars ahead. Looks like we've got Schumacher in front of us. The Haas much improved this weekend. They've brought quite a few updates as we try to close up to these guys. Let's see if we can have a look at Mick in a couple of corners time, because I'm expecting the AI to check up a little bit. Especially through these kind of slow sections, we may have a little look. Seems like not a lot of medium runners, they're mostly behind us now. which is good. So there shouldn't be no one off pace too much here. Feel already we're underneath 4 laps, as we've saved quite a bit. Oh, we get a bit out of shape there, and so did Schumacher in fairness, into the baseball stadium. Let's try and make some progress here. Is there going to be another outside move using the downforce and the grip? You bet it is. Just like that. Up to P15, another one down. Tsunoda next. Giovinazzi on mediums after that, as DRS will now be enabled.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
So yeah, let's see how that pans out. That could be interesting. We need to get past as many cars as possible, as early as possible. This is first in on these subs. It's going to be all about aggression, as Schwartzman and Ocon battle away up ahead. That's brought Giovinazzi and Tsunoda into it, and now we're getting mixed in as well. This could get ugly. Let's see, we're going to have a look around the outside of Tsunoda here, which gives us the inside into 5. And we'll take that. Just run him out of road to make sure we get ahead. Next up, Giovinazzi on the medium, Schwartzman on the medium as well. And I'm assuming Ocon is on the soft. Yeah, I can just about see.
Some information on Eilert. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
That's good news. Callum is ahead of us, so that could be another place for us as we try to close in on Giovinazzi here. Up the inside we go. And we are past. I won't go for the outside move on my teammate. I'll let him try to settle in. You can see the Red Bulls on their mini-map, how much we've lost already to those guys as Ocon actually pits. So,
Okay, start actively conserving fuel, please.
Yep.
We won't be finishing today.
don't worry, Jeff. So here we go, past Schwartzman. Perfect time to get by using the Slipstream and the DRS and the battery. Into turn 1. Job done for us. Going to take these curbs a bit on the safer side to avoid getting warnings, because we already could be on the risk of a penalty if we're not careful around here. Our lot already dropping him back, so we're going to be on the cusp of the top 10 very shortly here, as we're flying already. Eilert and Russell side by side into turns 1, 2 and 3. They're going to lose a lot of time as we really close in. I think Russell has got that one done, and that's going to put me on the back of these guys. There should be an easy move if Eilert does have issues. Let's see if that's the case. Let's test it out. He does seem a bit slow in the old cornering department. Not great. We're going to be stuck behind him here, I think, through the S's. Unless we can set him up. Yeah, no, we're going to be stuck behind. I'll say that. He gets out of shape. But yeah, we are stuck behind. Nowhere we can go right now. This is just stopping our progress. He doesn't have DRS though, so we're going to breeze past him here. Up the inside. Let's try and get onto George here as we move into the top 10 in this race.
Yellow flag.
Okay, yellow flag ahead.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Oh my god, it's Leclerc backwards at the stadium. So there's been contact. That means someone may have got damage in the process, but Leclerc backwards.
A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Oh my, we're taking this.
Understood. Copy that.
Yeah, we're taking this as a free pit stop. We're getting those mediums on ASAP. We're taking this stop. This could be a massive opportunity for us. Safety car out to play here today in Mexico as we go into the mediums.
Complete. Go
Great
now.
stop, 2.1, and we're going to rejoin in P18. Let's get back underway here.
We'll be doing one more stop today. One stop left in our strategy.
Yep, and we're going to tuck in behind Lundgaard. Right, so Tsunoda, Leclerc behind us, and it looks like one of the Williams as well, I think. Not sure who it is, but worth pointing out, both Red Bulls have pit on this lap. So they've seen us pit and they're responding, and they've not just pitted one, they've pit both. They've stacked them. Let's see, there's one of them in the pit lane right now, and it's Perez who's lost a lot of time. This could be close. No, maybe not, he's out ahead, so never mind, I was waffling there. But crucially, Verstappen isn't in clean air, so Max isn't going to get away. That's the main thing. So yeah, the Red Bulls have matched me on strategy, but they haven't gotten out of sight in terms of trap position. So let's see how that works out. Safety car in this lap. Here we go then. Restart is going to be key. This might change my strategy to a medium in terms of the tyre compounds. We'll see how it goes. Rear tyre temps are a bit low. Haven't really done the best job of keeping them hot. But I'm also not going too mad on the rear tyres because this is a very, very limited circuit.
Track is clear. Green flag.
Bit too cold though, but that's kind of the risk you take because the rear tyres really go off around here. Tsunoda though challenging on the restart. We'll make sure he doesn't get past as we have a drag race down to turn 1. On the brakes, we'll stay ahead of him. Let's see if we can try and pass Lundgaard here. And stick with Perez. We don't want to let Sergio get away if we can avoid it. Do I send it here on cold tyres? Yes, we do. Yes, we bloody do. Let's go. Right, that one's done. We're going to have to make more overtakes like in the first stint because of the safety car. There's a mixture of cars that have pit and haven't pit, but mainly nobody has pit except for the Red Bulls and ourselves as far as I'm aware, and the cars behind me. So let's push on here. And looks like most of the cars are pitting. The AI are in for their first stops. Bottas in there. I can see Ricciardo in there. So we're up to P12. This is going to help the DRS train breathe a little bit. Verstappen up to P2 now as Perez tries to get stuck in the inter-team Aston Martin battle. Stroll and Vettel go side by side. They both run in deep into turn 2. We're going to have a look around the outside of Seb and we're going to get through past both of them. So me and Perez being smart there, letting the Astons battle away. And we pick them both off in the first 3 corners. Up into the top 10 once again. And Perez still ahead of us here. Oh my god, there's a big check up there. Had to get out of it. There was nowhere to go, but we've got a Haas involved. Schumacher is running high in P6 with Latifi. I think it's Eilot who still has car issues. He's causing this big check-up. Trying to find a way through, but there's literally just a 2-wide roadblock everywhere right now. Will more cars pit? That's the question. I don't think they will. I think everyone on softs. Oh my god, Schumacher's trying to pit. It's causing chaos. Schumacher's trying to pit and it's held up everybody.
Okay, the stewards have
oh my god.
DRS. DRS is now online.
And just like
Caution,
that.
The virtual safety car has just been deployed due to a buildup of debris on the track.
Wow. What a crazy
Some
sequence.
Information on Leclerc. It looks like the problem is terminal. They're retiring the car.
So Mr. Charles Leclerc out of the race. Or at the P4. Schwarzman running in P2 yet to stop. But that is insane. I think Verstappen was involved in that. I don't see Verstappen anywhere. On the minimap, I think Russell leads. Schwarzman's P3 and Giovinazzi's P2, Giovinazzi's P3. Yeah, I can't see Verstappen anywhere. I think Max is at the back of the pack. I think he's in last place right now. I have to run a replay. I'll be running them in the top right, but I have no idea what happened in that sequence. But Schumacher there involved in it as he wanted to pit and the inside line was blocked off.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
There we go, back underway, playing it safe.
Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed.
Let's send it then. We've got slow cars behind, slow cars in front, but I'm pretty sure, following that entire mad sequence, I am the net race leader. I don't know what, everybody's strategy is, but I'm pretty sure I am the net race leader in this Grand Prix. That is crazy. Anyway, let's push on. Schwarzman P1, we are P3.
Okay, some information on Perez. They seem to have an issue.
Oh yes, what a day at the office. Both Red Bulls are having trouble. Verstappen's last and Perez has now got car issues. And here we are tucked in behind Giovinazzi, about to make it a 1-2 for 97 Racing. The stuff of dreams. Here we go. About to get past Gio. Ferrari engine versus Ferrari engine, but we have the DRS. So we'll walk past on the straight. I will say that our straight line speed isn't that great. I think we are running very high wings compared to the AI. Hence why I'm far superior in the corners. A 1-2 for us. Schwarzman leads. Yet to stop, of course. And we are P2. And there we go. Schwarzman pits.
Robert is coming in for his stop.
So we're going to take the lead. Let's see where Robert rejoins. There is a lot of traffic heading through the stadium section. I think he might drop through the pack a little bit. But still, right now I think he's on net P3. Obviously it depends what others do. People like Ocon and Tsunoda who pit under the safety car are right back in this race.
We've been informed of an incident which has resulted in lots of loose debris on the track.
Wow.
The safety car is being deployed.
Another one. Oof, okay, do we pit and get it out of the way now? Get an early stop in and try to get the tyres to the end. We don't have a fresh set of tyres left. The mediums that use, they're the ones that we spun twice on in Q2. Surely we have to pit, right? We just got to take it. To be fair, I got so distracted by that safety car, didn't actually notice who retired, but I'm pretty sure I saw Sergio Perez the other way, pushing through here, trying to maximise the delta. And we've done a pretty poor job of that, but here we go into the pit entry. For our, in theory, final stop of the race. That's going to be the plan here. Hopefully no more stops required. The AI running under delta, as I haven't co-opted the safety car yet, but I think we're still going to lose quite a few places. But then again, there might be a few cars at pit. Let's see. Here's the pit box.
Go, go, go.
It's a slow one, 2.8. Looks like we're going to be around P6, P7, behind Schwartzman here. I'm back on the way, P6 behind Robo Schwartzman. He's on softs right now, so Schwartzman looking at least another stop, to be honest with you. Which is not ideal. I think if he was smart enough, he'd probably pit now and get out of the way. But still, we've done our final stop. We're going to the end. The question is, will we make it? Tyres should be okay. 2% front, 4% rear. I think we're going to be okay. The question is, does some AI car have a crazy strategy up their sleeve where they're going to be super fast at the end? Because my pace isn't brilliant. You know, I'm not fast on the Red Bulls here. I've just been smart with my racecraft.
Right, some information on Ricardo. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
So that's good news. Ricardo will drop back then straight away on the restart. So that's another place for us gained for free. Nobody's going to pit, I think. So everyone's staying out. Let's see how this gets on. But the Red Bulls are back in this. Verstappen's back in this. Make no mistake about it. Safety car in this lap. And this time I do have the tyre temp that I need. So let's fight on. Let's see how this goes. Ricardo is going to be slow here on the restart, so we know he will be vulnerable. Schwartzman, I'm relying on his soft tyres to help really cut through the traffic, but here we go, back on the way.
Green flag.
Let's see how this all works out. Schwartzman, though, should hopefully get past Ricardo ASAP here. Yeah, you can see already he's gaining. Battle for the lead as well up ahead. Come on, Schwartzman, get the move done, son. No, he doesn't commit. Norris and Sainz side by side, the former teammates of course at McLaren, now at Mercedes and Ferrari respectively. I want to pass Schwartzman, but he's on soft, so I want him to take full advantage as Latifi tries to challenge us here on the soft tyres in the Williams. I think I'll have enough to hold him back as he is driving a Williams. Easy does it through the slow section here as Ricardo checks up. I'm on the unfavourable line actually, and now Latifi's going to get through. We try to force it. 3 wide, we get Ricardo. Got the inside line on Schwartzman. Oh, sorry, on Latifi. Second one for track limits though. So we've got to be careful now because one more strike and we are out. Schwartzman though cracking on with the move now on Gasly. He's flying on the soft tyres. That's exactly what we need. Let's see if we can get past Gasly as well. But Schwartzman doing his bit on the soft tyre on the restart. So Sainz leads, Norris P2, Schwartzman P3. And oh my god, Gasly's going to the pits there. We almost lost our front wing. Whew, that was close. Now Latifi's going to have a slice. Here we go, drag race. I can't believe this battle with Latifi has gone on as long as it has. But it is. And here we are then, side by side. I've managed to stop using my battery now as we try to hold the inside line here on Latifi. I think we will get ahead. Yes, we do. There we go. Job done. I'm going to take these chicanes very safely now for track limits reasons. Well, let's crack on then. Schwartzman is flying. Let's try and use that to our advantage. Oh, well, there we go. Sainz pits already.
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
So it's a 1-2 for us. Let's see what kind of pace Schwartzman has. To be fair, I'm actually acting as a bit of a cork in the bottle. Hopefully Schwartzman can try and pull away as much as possible and build up as much of a gap on those softs. Now you can see the gap to Tsunoda going up here. 8.3 seconds, you know, being on the hard, Tsunoda's going to hold up a lot of people. And I'm hoping Schwartzman stays out as long as possible because the longer he stays out, there's going to be more AI battles behind. He's going to go into another set of softs, surely. So the longer Schwartzman stays out, the more places he's going to gain, the more track position he's going to make up. I'm expecting him in this lap, if not next lap. But this pace from Schwartzman's good, and he does pit. There we go.
Robert is in the pits. Robert in the pits.
So we're going to take the race lead then.
Box, box. We're coming in this lap.
No, we're not, Jeff. We are not pitting. The question is, now with cars in the pits, okay, there's Verstappen. He's P5 on the hard tyre. So he's going to be pushing to the end, and Perez is behind him, currently with the fastest lap. I don't have the power to take that away. They're going to be fast until the end of Red Bulls. I'm trying to manage my mediums so that we can make it to the end. The tyre wear is quite low, but they actually feel crap. You know, it's a weird feeling around here where 35% feels like 50 on the tyre wear. So, yeah, I'm just trying to manage it. Rear tyres especially, as we will be struggling at the end a little bit. There's still, 10 laps to go. Looks like Schwarzman has rejoined though around P7, P8, but he does have softs on a hope, so maybe he can get the fastest lap in this race. I think Verstappen's got damage, or the Red Bull's got damage. They've lost so much time on this lap. I don't know what's happened, but they're losing seconds per corner. It's crazy. I wonder if they pit. I bet they do, because they've lost like a good 6 seconds on that last lap. Stroll having a look for some reason, trying to unlap himself. Not sure what you're trying to do there, mate. And yeah, one of the Red Bulls is in, and it is Verstappen in the pit lane. I just knew it. The AI are battling so aggressively here, and Schwarzman all of a sudden is back in the mix for a podium. He's P5 on softs.
You've been awarded a time penalty for that last incident.
Just had a bit of oversteer there. Couldn't quite correct the car in time. Bit of a shame, but luckily it's not going to affect our race. We've got massive gaps behind. So we're chilling right now. I'm expecting Max to get the fastest lap in this race after that late pit stop. Schwarzman though up to P4. Making progress, and he's on the back of Perez now. And there you go, P3 for Schwarzman. He's flying. Oh, Perez is pit actually. So in that battle with Tsunoda and Schwarzman, Perez is pit. At the minute, it's looking a bit ropey for Red Bull. Neither car in the points. And we're in a 1-3, and possibly Schwarzman may catch Ocon. So it's looking good today. Ooh, Russell out of the race. We get another warning for track limits. I'm trying to push here because I'm thinking about pitting. I really think I want this fastest lap, and I think this could be the race for it. If I can push enough to get a bit of a gap to Ocon, we'll easily catch him back up on the softs afterwards. Like, it'll be like 3 seconds, 4 seconds per lap. It's just a penalty that I've got to factor in here. Otherwise, I'd go for it. As we are going to pass the Alpine of Russell. I just need like 1 or 2 more laps where I can push on these and give it everything, and then we'll go for the softs. Well, Max is recovering. He's up to P5 with the fastest lap. He's making a late charge, and it could be even P4 actually. Bottas isn't too far out of reach for him. I've abandoned my lap, my attempt to go for the fastest lap, because Schwarzman got himself into my pit window, and that would have meant potentially losing the race win, so I didn't want to do that. So we'll just play it safe and bring it home. Here we are then, after a crazy 36 laps. Last lap of the race, I'm just cruising. I'm making sure we don't put any extra wear on the engine and just manage everything beautifully as all the fireworks and confetti go up. We're going to win though here today at Mexico from last place on the grid. Nobody expected that. What a performance and a big team result.
Great job. You've done everything we wanted today.
So after a day of mixed fortunes up and down the field, we bring today's race to a close. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
Here comes your top 3 making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One.
Now, a 3-second time penalty aside, we pick up a massive win here today. It's not just a result for the Drivers' Championship, it's also the result for the Constructors as well. Both cars on the podium, a 1-3 here today. And crucially, Verstappen and Perez, P5 and P7. They did recover at the end quite strongly to get back in the points, but it wasn't enough, and they only gained, you know, a certain amount. Verstappen did get a fastest lap, and Red Bull in fairness did salvage 17 points, but we score a big 40 here today between myself and Schwartzman. Now, in terms of the results, you can see the 1-3, the podium there with Ocon in between us. Bottas P4 ahead of Verstappen, Lundgaard P6, Latifi P8 with a Red Bull sandwiched in between, Schumacher P9 as well for Haas, and Gasly rounding out the points. Mazepin just missing out on the top 10 along with Tsunoda, Sainz, Giovinazzi, Norris, Ricciardo, Matsushita, Stroll, Russell, and then Russell, Vettel, Ilott, and Leclerc out of the race. So a very crazy race, a lot of chaos, very manic, 2 safety cars, a virtual safety car. It had it all. In the standings, with 3 races to go, we are 15 points clear from Max Verstappen. So can we do it? This could be our year. We're about to find out. Schwartzman stays in 7th place, but gets himself a bit of breathing room with that podium. Bottas up to P4. In the Constructors, the gap shrinks to 38 points with 3 races to go. We're going to need Schwartzman to do more of that. Hopefully he can do that in the next few races, but I still think the Constructors is going to be unlikely. Nonetheless, that is it from me here today for this episode and this race of my team. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It's been a crazy one, and the next one will be Brazil, after that Australia, and then finally Abu Dhabi. So a lot is going to happen, guys, so stay tuned, get subscribed to not miss out when those videos do go live. So, like the video if you enjoyed it. If you found the race, you know, enjoyable, then let's try and smash over 1,000 likes. As always, a big shout out goes to the channel members for supporting the content, and finally check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. But that is it from me here today, and I'll see all of you next time.